And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. We start this morning out, let me just be honest with you, it's hot. It's 79 degrees here at 6:30, and it's been that way for quite some time. It's not going to do anything but get worse from this moment. We're looking for a high of 100, triple digits, and the heat index should be 111. Odie's already wearing shorts, being prepared for whatever the weather may bring, and his Hawaiian, that's pink, isn't it?
No, that's fuchsia.
Fuchsia. New word for us here at the report. Fuchsia. I think I sat in a chair called that one time. Again, welcome. We do hope your morning is going well as we begin today. A lot goes on. We've got so much that has happened. Well, yesterday in the early morning hours, we've got everything. The road is back open now in front of Dairy Queen. We give you the details on that also at 7 a.m. Won't you join us? We'll keep you updated as to what's going on. We're getting ready to give you some national headlines. What's shaping America? What's going on out there that you need to know? We're going to fill you in on these things, plus your weather forecast. But right now, cast it all to the side. Let's get to a better subject. That's the good Lord above. Let's go to Collinsville now.
Cyanide is a substance that you definitely want to avoid. It's a poison that will kill you. Essentially, it suffocates you. Its chemical properties block your body's cells from receiving oxygen. So cyanide is extremely deadly to your body. But in today's word of wisdom from the book of Proverbs, we run into a spiritual cyanide, if you will. Some call it envy, others jealousy, still others call it covetousness. It goes by several names, but a poison by any other name is just as poisonous. Whatever you call it, it's wanting what somebody else has and resenting them for it. It could be their looks, their talent, their friends, their influence, their possessions. It could be almost anything. But whatever it is, you want what they have, and you're hostile toward them in your heart and probably to others behind their back and maybe even to their face. But beloved, that envy is like drinking poison. Listen to Proverbs 14:30. It says, envy makes the bones rot. In other words, it kills you from within. Therefore, you need to battle envy with everything you have. Battle it with gratitude, with contentment, with compassion. Battle it with empathy. Battle it with love. Beloved, like you avoid cyanide in your body, avoid envy in your soul. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And you're right. I missed that. That was yesterday's. We'll get that corrected here in a little while. My apologies on that. That slipped up on me. I done that wrong. So we'll get that fixed here in a little while. Ruh-roh. Sorry about that. As we begin today, let's look at a few headlines that are beginning to shape America across this great nation as we start looking as to what's happening today. And there's a bunch of stories. Boeing, as we know, who has been troubled, has named a new CEO. As he takes his new job, they're reporting losses of $1.4 billion. Not a good way to start your job. That's what the facts are this morning. Here's something as we look at, we saw Louisiana a few weeks back, where they're going to be passing some scriptures, having the Bible, the Ten Commandments in schools. Oklahoma doing something similar to where the superintendent of education for the state passed where each school will have a Bible in it, and it will be taught the facts from it. Each schoolroom in Oklahoma will have a Bible there. I think that's good. As you all know, the next sentence of where people are fighting it, saying that it's wrong. It is what our nation was built upon. We are so quickly to forget what brought us to the dance, aren't we? A little thing called Israel that you separate from that, and you most likely won't be blessed as we have been. It worries me day in, day out. Do you have any of this in your home? Have you bought any at the grocery store? Boar's Head. It's a meat, the sandwich meat in the back. They're recalling 7 million more pounds of deli meats, possibly to listeria breakout. So if you've got any in your refrigerator, check your dates, check those numbers on it to make sure it's not part of that. We wouldn't want anybody to get sick with that. This is a good news here. As we look at what's going on here, a toddler has been saved fell into a PVC pump. It was where your water runs, a sump pump. That's what I'm trying to say. Fell into it. He was rescued. 14 months old, going to be okay. That is wonderful. A lot of times we can't give you those good stories, can we? 26 people, and this is freak accident as we go to Virginia. 26 people were treated yesterday, a gas leak to exposure for ammonia. They're going to be okay, but they were rushed to a hospital. 26 people. You often read stories and you wonder why somebody would do something. And this is one of those. Washington State is where we are. Along the coastline, a man in a Jeep runs down the beach, runs over and kills 25 seagulls on purpose. Now, as we think about that state, they protect seagulls. That's like in Mississippi, an eagle, a mockingbird. You cannot kill those. He's from out of state. They know who he is. Witnesses are willing to testify against him. It's just mean. Tulsa will be, I don't know how a company stays, again, we know how it's important to build new technology, but how can a company, because you know there's lawsuit after lawsuit that happens with this. Tulsa, another person has been killed by a self-driving car. They were hit by it. Now, y'all know the writing on the wall, what's going to happen with that. How does a company keep progressing with such horrific things that happen? I don't know. And I do know that one day those cars will be it. They will drive you everywhere you go. It will be one day your grandkids or your kids will be like the Jetsons. It's coming to that one day. We all know that. Cars will fly. It is not that far off. Technology changes. We see where the border wall is put there for a reason. Don't climb it. We see where someone trying to get into the United States made it to the top of the 30-foot wall. She couldn't get down. She called for help. The border agent told her to sit still. They were getting a ladder, and the fire department would be there. She fell to her death. She didn't wait. It's sad. Did y'all even... I'd forgotten about this. Wasn't she with Regis Philbin and Kathy Lee?
Yeah, and That's Incredible.
That's incredible. I forgot about that show, Odie. Boy, just to give you a sign that we're all getting old. I can remember getting up, getting ready for work, drinking coffee, and watching her. Or Regis and Kathy Lee. She's had a hip replacement because she fell. Her pelvis. Let me correct that. She fractured it after fall. We are getting old, y'all. I caught Odie over there by the coffee machine with some Geritol. He's just taking care of himself. You don't see that anymore. When's the last time you saw a commercial for Geritol? I haven't.
And you used to see it all the time?
Yeah, I don't even see Fred Flintstone commercials anymore.
Sure don't.
Those things have disappeared there. Pauly Shore, a comedian, if I'm not mistaken, the family of Richard Simmons is getting all over him. He made a suggestion that the last post that was made to Facebook was not really Richard Simmons. They're saying that he said that somebody else wrote it. They're mad at Pauly. I don't know the answer to it. And does it really matter whether he wrote it or an assistant wrote it?
Who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't pass the who cares check. You know, I'll have to almost agree with this. Snoop Dogg has officially named himself the MVP of the Olympics. He did carry the torch. He rode around with some people, and I'm not going to watch them anymore. Just to show you what I mean by this and how I don't care about, let me word it that way, how I don't care about the Olympics anymore. New Zealand is the country with this, to where we all know that each one of these athletes have to have a sponsor. They got to have money to train and not have a job to do whatever it is they do best. This is where the morals of the world have gone. We've got a guy that it looks like he's in a rowboat. Maybe they do that in that. You know who his sponsor is? Absolutely no one. You know what he does to fund this? OnlyFans. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what OnlyFans is, that's an adult sex site. Olympic. See, that represents your country and who you are and what you do. Am I the only one that has fault with these things, that finds fault with it? The moral compass of the world is slipping. That tells us something big is going to happen one day. It's in a little book at the back that says, it starts with an R, doesn't it, Odie? It's called Revelation. It's coming. Will the United States put that into high gear? Will we turn our back on a country that we're supposed to protect? I brought that up a little bit earlier. That worries me. Here's another one, tied with the Olympics. A drag queen says that he or she, I'm not sure which it is, has no regrets for making fun of the Lord's Supper. There you go. One last subject on headlines, and then there's a lot of politics we'll talk about this morning also coming up at 7. A drag queen, not a drag queen, but you remember the Power Rangers? You remember that guy? The guy that wore the green Power Ranger outfit?
I'll take your word.
He's supposed to be like the good guy. I never watched the Power Rangers. I want to say it was popular when my kids were younger.
Don't have a clue.
Power Ranger done got in an argument with somebody and whooped up on them over a parking place. You never saw Clayton Moore do that. And if you're too young to know what that name was, that was the Lone Ranger. Think about old Clayton Moore, no matter where he was, it was almost that he wore the mask at any time, wasn't he? We need a good guy. We need a hero. We need an American hero. Clayton Moore was one of those. You remember they went after him after he retired. He had to end up wearing sunglasses for a mask. Who was that masked man? They sued him. Clayton Moore was a good fella. And really and truly, whether you're on the job or off the job, and this goes with any company, if you've got an executive, let me warn you of this, if you've got an executive for your country, what he does on the weekend represents you Monday through Friday. If you're a fireman, you represent the fire department no matter where you are. If you are a policeman, whether you're on the clock or off the clock, what you do 24/7 represents who you work for. Small thoughts from Scotty Ray this morning. And again, my apologies for having the wrong service on this morning. We'll get that straightened out. We'll be right back. Looking for a great place to eat? Well, come explore the great flavors of the French Quarter in downtown Enterprise. Whether you're in the mood for a romantic night out, a family dinner, or a cozy atmosphere with great service that make dining with the French Quarter an unforgettable experience. Drop by today and taste our delicious dishes. Come explore the flavors of the French Quarter. 120 West Bridge Street, downtown Enterprise. Call 601-659-0500, the French Quarter. Welcome back. Did Jerome Lee just get hit on?
He's handsome.
Jerome Lee, good morning, handsome. How are you doing today? Man, it made me blush. Odie's blushing over there.
We don't ever get talked to like that.
Yeah, me and Odie don't get compliments like that. Oh, handsome out there. Sorry about that. I couldn't resist but repeat that. That was good. Let's get into our forecast now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
It's a very hot day. You see that 100 is what is expected in Meridian and all around the areas. That's going to include Newton as you look southward into downtown Quitman, all of that area, northward to Columbus. We'll get into 99. As you get over to the river, deep in the Delta, 99 all the way. We'll drop down to 94 right at Natchez, just to the east of there. Still warm, 97 in Brookhaven. As we look at Bama this morning, what's going on over there? Oh, we'll see 97 at Demopolis and even staying steady at 97 through Birmingham, where it's usually a little cooler. It's not there. Oh, Tuscaloosa, 99. As we look at this, you don't normally see a stage 4. That's an extreme risk, which is hitting the Mississippi Delta from just north of Vicksburg there on 61, taking in Yazoo, Greenwood, Cleveland, those areas. The Meridian area is a level 3. Remind you, that's 111 to 115. That extreme risk there in the Delta is over 115. Whew. That's going to be coming in today and tomorrow. That's going to be hot, folks. As we look at this, nothing has changed. It's nothing but hot. It's above average temperatures for us. As we look at our 7-day outlook, here it is, 99 to 100 today. Again, the same thing to end the week tomorrow at 100. Just 10% chances of rain. Saturday is our biggest chance of rain over the next 7 days. 40% chance on Saturday is what we've got, down to 20% on Sunday. High of 97. It might as well be 100. It's close to it. Expect those heat indexes to remain here through August. Today is August the 1st, by the way. As we go another week into this, we're going to hit 100 again on the 8th, and we stay steady at 96 to 95 all the way through the 15th of the month. Biggest chance of rain will fall in there about the 12th, 2 weeks from now. My, oh, my, oh, my. As we look at our fishing forecast for today, here we are. Major time to fish today is about 10:30 to 12:30. Hope you can make it out for that. And again, that's going to be right at that borderline of where it gets extremely hot. Although the fishing may not be as good at 7 o'clock tonight, it might be better for you to go at 7 o'clock. The wind's going to be calm wind, becoming west around 5 miles an hour. But if you got to fish, those are the perfect times to get out and do that. Now, what's going on with this as we follow this each and every day? We're up to a 60% chance. And let's just look at where this is and what we've got so far. If we pull this up, a 60% chance of this nasty thing becoming a storm. As you'll see, that direction has shifted to the west a little bit. We see that now right there. It was barely taking in the west side of Florida and hovering mostly toward the Atlantic. It has shifted more west. We see that Alabama could be affected by this. It would not take much for this to twist just a tad more west and affect the Mississippi coastline. Again, it hasn't formed yet, but it's a high chance that something could happen with this over the next 7 days. We'll watch this closely. It could be our next storm. I think if it's named, it's going to be named Debbie, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure that's pretty close on that. As we pull up, let's go look at radar this morning. As we look at what's going on across the U.S. of A., look at that extreme heat wave that's in the west there, as we brought up before. Now, here's Winston County. It's right at it. Kosciuszko, you're in this extreme heat wave. We are showing fog over here south of Montgomery as we get closer into Greenville, Alabama. Fort Deposit, those areas there got fog this morning in Bama. A little bit out here to the northwest around Nacogdoches. There we go. A little bit there. Two towns named almost the same thing, one in Louisiana, one there. We got a little bit of fog around Shreveport this morning as well. And then you'll see that Chattanooga, Knoxville has a little bit of rain this morning up in here. We've got fog as well as there. Nothing major going on right now. A little bit of showers. Look at that. If you're on the coast this morning enjoying the beach, there's a little bit out in the Gulf. As we zoom in to get a little bit look at that. Gulf Shores, Alabama, due south of you. There's some storms out in the Gulf there. We're watching those for you. Again, we'll be back live in about 5 minutes. And we should name it Scotty Ray. Chet, you something else. Oh, have mercy. We're looking forward to a great show. There's so much going on. We're going to fill you in on the details of what's happening. We got coffee brewing up in the studio. Make yours and join us. Man, I had some of those apple pies.
Ooh.
We got to talk about those. And them cookies, too. We love getting food. We ain't going to lie. We're big boys. We're grown men, and we love food. Thank y'all so much. We'll be back in just a moment with the headlines and all of our local news coming up in just a moment at the Scotty Ray Report.